I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome in, 100.7 The Score. It is The Bottom Line. I'm Rob Bro alongside Jamie Lint. Clint Scott is also here. We are in the First United Bank studio. You can join us on the Visual Edge IT hotline 806-771-0973. Or you can hit us up on the apps, the chat line, the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Brought to you by Happy State Bank. The apps, 100.7 The Score, Double T 97.3. You can also find us on the website, doubleTSportsNetwork.com. There was a great story by one Jamie Lint yesterday. The days that changed Texas Tech. We've been doing that this summer. A couple of really interesting ones, but this baseball one, talking about the trip to Miami ahead of your first trip to Omaha. And there was a few stories in there that I just did not remember. So coming into it from a program that certainly as a program had a lot of regional experience.
Sure.
Not a lot of super regional experience, of course.
None.
There was a change in the tournament kind of after some of those Texas Tech teams probably could have gotten to a super regional.
Yep.
Certainly no trips to Omaha before that. How did you feel the change? Because you talk about the Big 12 tournament, but you kind of feel a spark there in Miami as things start to turn and have a little more confidence coming back to Lubbock?
Yeah, the interesting part about all that is, if you remember, you opened the season that year with Indiana, who was the number 3 team in the country. And it felt like, you were coming off a year where you were, nearly 10 games below 500 in the first year under Tadlock. I think it was 26-34, if I remember correctly. And you felt like, okay, well, this team, we'll see if they're a little bit better or whatever. And you take 3 or 4 against the number 3 team in the country who just coming off a trip to Omaha. And that was the first time you felt like, okay, maybe this team could be pretty good, right? So you knew that there was potential there. But just like every other baseball season, you have ups and downs and all that good stuff. But to get back to your initial question there, like, did you feel it? I think, there was a little sense of, okay, we made it to a postseason. We get to go play at a cool place. And, Tim Tadlock's never going to think that way, but you wonder about his players are thinking, okay, we get to go play this historic program in a cool place, and this will be a lot of fun. And, you don't know whether they believe, okay, we're going to take down Miami, or you feel like they're just, this is going to be cool that we're going to get to play in this kind of setting. But it was on Saturday night after you beat Columbia, and it was, you trailed for much of that game, and it kind of felt like everybody on the team was playing a little bit nervously. Okay, Kirsch hits a 2-run homer and gets you a lead, and then you give it back, and then Goot finally gets the walk-off hit in the 9th to win it for the Red Raiders, and you kind of felt like that was more like a sigh of relief than it was like jubilation at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And you win that game 3-2, a low-scoring affair. But on Saturday, I just remember it being so packed there at Alex Rodriguez Ballpark, or Alex Rodriguez Field, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a suite there that was just for him that had all sorts of pictures of him on it, and I really wanted to try to. You could see it from the glass and see into it, but I really wanted to get in there. But anyway,
yeah,
I digress. But it was Saturday night, awesome crowd. It was packed. Miami fans were loud, and Dylan Dushek was just phenomenal. And you win that game 4-0, and it was at that point where you start to go, okay, you could actually win this whole regional thing. It's not something we've necessarily done, but you could, we're just not here for fun. We could win this thing. Excuse me. And at the same time, you're hearing all the reports about what's going on in Gainesville, which is the regional you're supposed to match up with in the Supers. And Florida's getting knocked out on Saturday, and you're like, who's left? And ultimately, it ends up being College of Charleston, a 4 seed, that wins that regional. And like as things were progressing for the Red Raiders, I can remember Brian Haney at the time, who was doing play-by-play. He kept reminding me, he would give me the scores in Gainesville. And I don't want to hear it, Brian. I don't want to hear it.
We're trying to win here first.
Until the Red Raiders win here.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But it was cool to, at the same time, my interest is piqued.
Yeah.
But it was after that Saturday game that I felt like it got really, really fun because you were like, holy cow, we're one game away from doing this. And so I'm sure the coaches and the players would tell you we went there to win it. There was no, hey, we're just trying to, go have some fun here in Miami. But it was, and then Sunday and Monday just got so incredibly intense.
Because you had to win twice. You had to be,
yeah.
They had to win twice.
They had to win twice.
You got to kind of.
Yeah, and when Sunday was the game that was marred by rain delays. Ryan Mosley was pitching a gem, but ultimately he sat through one rain delay and couldn't sit through another one. They had to ultimately take him out because of that. I remember I have pictures of there was not a press box area for Brian and I, so we're calling the game wearing garbage bags over our heads, okay? And our equipment is covered up because it's just pouring on us.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was crazy. And so you dealt with all that. And then there's the whatever you want to call it, a little dust up over at first base where there's a throw over to first and it pulled Goot towards foul territory. And so he's in the baseline and this dude just tries to level him, okay, which he doesn't do. Okay, he ends up falling down on the base. And all Goot did was after it kind of pushed him backwards, he got the out. As he starts running to the Tech dugout, he just walks by and drops the baseball on top of the guy.
Yeah.
And then their first base coach took a swing at Goot. And then that brought J. Bob Thomas running out of the Red Raider dugout. And
protect your guy.
It was a brouhaha, and it was like, holy cow. And then, wow. And so Goot and J-Bob get tossed. The game finally gets called or, delayed until the next day with, I guess we were in the bottom of the 8th inning because we were 5 outs away from finishing it. So,
yeah.
And the Red Raiders were the home team. So, so you go to the hotel. I remember that we were eating dinner at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning because it just kept delaying it, right? And fully well knowing you're going to get up and have to try to get it done on Monday. And I feel like the rain was the best thing that could have happened for Miami because it killed Tech's momentum, just changed the pitching situation. So they end up scoring a couple runs and forcing it to getting to that final game. And I remember talking to some of the guys afterwards about what did Tadlock say to you guys in between games? And he's just like, if I told you guys you have one game, at the end of the year, we're going to be in a situation where you got one game to get to go to a super regional or our program has never been, would you have taken it? How excited would you have been? And for every man's like, yeah, sign me up all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mentality that the team took. You manufactured some runs early on in the game on a bunt and a sacrifice bunt and a poor throw that got you a couple runs. And then Cameron Smith, I will always say most underrated individual performance, in the history of Tech baseball, as he comes from not pitching all weekend to throwing a 5-hit shutout.
Absolutely shoving.
Yes. He was phenomenal. And it was a lot of fun. That's all I can say.
All right, we'll continue to talk about that in this show. We'll also do some headlines after this. We'll get Clint on the mic at some point. No mic, Clint? He's not going to talk today.
Including from 3 to 6, except for right now.
Oh, except for right now. And then Gus is doing the entire show from 3 to 6.
All right, tune in for that.
More after this on 100.7 The Score. It's The Bottom Line.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. It is the bottom line. 100.7 The Score. Bullfighter wants to know what's Corey Seager's batting percentage. I believe he's up to about 270, 250, something like that. Much better than it was.
Is that Clint? Can you give Clint the mic? Is that the most? There's another good take versus take question. Is that the most embarrassing thing you've ever said on the radio or slip of the tongue?
I'm not even embarrassed by it. It was a slip of the tongue. It was more Gus just like hammering on. It was just like it was like the summer league play, right? And my face is just everywhere, like ooh, like that, or just being dunked on.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. You just accidentally say something you didn't mean to say. My Rob is way worse than Clint's because I was just
I don't know that would be in my top 10 if I had said that.
So I'm doing this sportscast at the old station that I used to work for in the lunch hour, and I don't remember what story I was reading, what it was about, but it said something about the guy is turning in his resume. Something had something to do with a resume. And I got to resume and I couldn't say it right. All I could see in my mind was resume. And like I stumbled a couple times, and finally I was just like, the heck with it. Just go through it. Just cruise through it. And I threw out resume and then just kept going. And the main anchor was like, resume, Jamie? And I was like, I don't. And about that point I was like, resume. I don't know what happened.
Resume. That is good.
I can't remember. I think you told me this story, but maybe it wasn't. I'm not sure if it was you or if it was someone that you knew. But somebody was telling me a story about like one of the first football games they were doing play-by-play and going like, he's at the 40, he's at the 45, he's at the 50, he's at the 55. Yeah. And I laughed at that. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. And then when I started like doing more play-by-play for football, I'm like, oh, I see how that happens.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you're just counting.
I didn't quite say 55, but I was like, oh, he's hit at the 48, lunges forward to the 49. He'll get to midfield, out to the 50, and he'll lean forward again. He's over to the 51. And then I was like, 49. Yes, that was me. I feel like the resume thing was...
That works.
The resume thing was way worse.
Oh, yeah. Opinion. Well, the reading a word that you know is one thing.
Like, I just had a complete brain cramp. I mean, I couldn't figure out the word.
Yeah, and in my career of doing sports centers and newscasts that I've done and all of the things I've tried to read on air, I've had so many slips.
Choice and Shelley know probably my actual worst one because I don't even use the word that I said. But it was supposed to be apropos, and I thought she was trying to say a pro, so I was turning a texter into a teenager while they were using a good word.
So you were making fun of her for
No, I
saying
wasn't.
pro.
No, I was just reading the text, and it was more of I had just been making fun of Choice so much because someone made an abacus joke. Because we were really bad at math, as always on air, and he said abacus, and I did like 2 months of jokes just every single day, and I would never tell this to him, but mine was worse.
Apropos.
Apropos.
Here's end of the bottom bench. It's the end of the line with Rob Bro. Jamie Lent. Let's see. A question here. Did you guys do the Naming Dudes edition of the Rangers? No, we'll do that tomorrow. So we're gonna try to go for a full segment of just naming Texas Rangers. You think you could do that?
Former ones?
Former,
not
current.
I probably would be better if
we did the
naming a different franchise. Yeah,
we might do the Yankees.
Yeah. A full segment. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so it's an old. We did road trip games. We're talking about road trip games, and that's one of my favorite road trip games. Is just pick, like, let's say Big 12 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then last one to stay standing
Yeah, that's fun.
wins the road trip game. So we're gonna try the Rangers tomorrow.
Yeah. Does seem like a lot of talking though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, we're not thinking cereals or something. Sports.
We played that game, us two and another member that made a trio.
Yes.
And just to mess, it was the first time I'd ever met the other of the trio, and to mess with them when we got way deep into Big 12 quarterbacks, I just started making up names. And Rob caught on, and every single time I would say, well, he was a Kansas quarterback. And I said that like 5 times, and at a certain point, I had already named real Kansas quarterbacks, and you have to start doing math, like, did they have 2 starters every single year?
Yeah.
yeah.
I did mention that yesterday. You can't play these kind of games with Clint. We also have like a movie game, and Clint will just be like, the Nasty Boys, the story of the Nasty Boys. It's like, that's not a movie.
But if you can make them believe it.
Right. Well,
that's
yeah,
more
there's
fun.
there's a certain amount of that where it's like the BS game where you're like, you got to call them on it. Anyways, the Texas Rangers now 5-1 out of the break. Beating Detroit 2 out of 3, beating the A's 3 of 3. They now get to play the Braves starting tomorrow. If I gave you the opportunity to make one move, Jamie Lint, and that one move really locked in a playoff spot, what would it be for the Texas Rangers? You don't have to give me a specific player, but one move where you're like, this guy's doing this, that's what the team needs.
A dominant closer.
Yeah.
Because not only would that make you better at the back end of the bullpen, but that would make you better with the rest of your bullpen because everybody slides down a spot and you get a little bit better in your 8th and your 7th, whatever, your setup guys. And as many games as you've blown this year because of your bullpen, we know you don't have an explosive offense, or you haven't been for the most part.
Right. Certainly
So
not
you're-
consistently explosive.
Right. So you're going to win low score. You're going to have to win low scoring close games. If you're doing that, you got to be able to hold leads at the end of games.
If the Rangers just currently had a dominant closer, yesterday you DFA Luke Jackson, which he probably can clear waivers and stay in the organization if you need him due to an injury or whatever else. Somebody might pick him up. If they're trading off a reliever, you might need to pick up a reliever. But you also get John Gray back. And John Gray is going to be a guy who pitched 2 innings yesterday. If he could pitch 2 innings, 3 innings, and really help your bullpen so you're not having to use 2 guys every time he's coming out.
Yeah.
Or if in a couple weeks you don't get a closer at the deadline, he can kind of step into that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're also getting Josh Spores back.
Yep. Spores would be huge. I mean, obviously in that World Series run, he was massive. You don't win the World Series without Josh Spores.
No.
Not even close.
No. I don't think you're there without him.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I thought the same thing when I saw that John Gray was activated yesterday. I'm like, I wonder if they can keep him in the pen. Can they afford to keep him in the pen somewhere? Does this make their pitching depth in the bullpen better?
Oh, we've got a couple of comments on the misspeaking things.
Okay.
And old Roswell says he was trying to read the word receipts in front of 400 people one time, and he kept repeating recipes like 8 times over and over. By the 9th time he came around, I looked in the crowd and said, "You guys get it," and continued on with the speech.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing that you have to do in that situation, even if you find yourself like, oh, I'm lost, you just read over it and you keep going, and then when somebody tells you later you butcher it, like, oh, just slip of the tongue, whatever. I just accidentally messed up, and then you don't draw attention to yourself like, This dude he's had 3 shots at it and he can't get it right, and that's where I was with Razumi.
Razumi, yeah. I had the benefit of being able to pre-record a lot of my news stuff, so I could really practice and work on it. But if you're down to the wire and you're just trying to get one out, you're like, nah, well, it's good enough.
If you're Kendrick Perkins at the NBA draft, just stop. Just quit after the first one. Just keep going.
Oh, that one is so good. Bullfighter also has a list of my mess-ups because he updates it daily.
Let's go, Bob Ruth.
Yeah, Bob Ruth instead of Babe Ruth. Into the bunch, 100.7 to 6. I combined quote and coaches for quoaches. I actually said Aroldis Garcia instead of Adolis. I had a spoonerism with Wyatt Langford and called him Wyatt Wangford. Shuck Hines. The Visual Edge IT hotline. And then today I said Rady Raiders instead of Lady Raiders. So that's me, man. It's a struggle sometimes. All right, more after this. It's the bottom line.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
This is the bottom line, 100.7 The Score.
I love that if people don't know that joke, they're like, that's not Imagine Dragons.
We do bits here.
I don't know the joke, but I also didn't know that it wasn't Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, it is.
It's AWOL Nation. Jamie's going to go home to his kids tonight and be like, I heard an Imagine Dragons song tonight. It went like, and they're like,
I don't even know.
It's sus.
I don't think he would do that.
I don't even know that my kids know Imagine Dragons. Did they play in Omaha one year when we were there?
I do not know that.
I'm pretty sure they did.
At just around Omaha, or
no, like at the field, like
field?
for opening ceremonies night.
Oh, I thought you meant like Imagine University and Dragons was the mascot.
That makes sense because they were really popular from like in that window, 16 to 19.
Yeah, I'll let you watch some videos during the break, Rob.
That's right.
Yeah.
The fastest growing sport in America is on the TV now, pickleball, on Pickle TV. You're welcome, Jamie. We got Tuesday night pickleball, the Surprise Stingers versus the Tempe Tornadoes.
The Surprise Stingers.
Yeah.
Horse name. I don't remember what the medicine was, Jamie, but I thought of you. It was just your very typical odd, why are they writing this script for a medicine commercial? And they were playing pickleball, and the scene, this the quick 5-second scene, it was like recovering from something, and this girl probably in her late 30s, early 40s, she does like the most simple backhand, doesn't move a step. Other team doesn't move. She gets the point and like daps up the paddle like, yeah, you're on your way back. Nice shot. And I'm like, this is exactly what Jamie thinks pickleball is. No movement. Like on either side is like, oh, well, that's 2 feet away from me. I'm not getting that one back. What a shot. Great placement.
The score right now is, 70 to 43? How are we counting the points here?
Say 70 to 43?
That's what it says.
It sure does. I
don't know if that's a scoreboard or not.
Feels like usually they play like 3 different sets or something. I don't really know.
We've got 3 lines here. It looks like the Tempe Tornadoes won the first one. All right.
There's some sort of different scoring system. Maybe
it's not moved. Maybe that's just the team number.
Average age of the participants?
Maybe. All right, let's do a Kaylee's Dailies here. All right. Presented by me today, apparently. Because I'm going to read it. It's
now
Shark Week.
presented exclusively by Chuck Hines Enterprises.
There we go. While shark sightings aren't uncommon off the Gulf Coast, one species that has a high chance of being seen is the sandbar shark. Sandbar sharks are a large
shark
cartilaginous fish species found commonly
Attaboy.
in subtropical and tropical waters from the Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean. Sandbar sharks are sometimes referred to as brown sharks due to their sandy brownish color that helps them blend in with the sandy bottom of the ocean.
It's a little bit racist, though, isn't it?
Sandy bottom.
Horse name. Hate that. I don't like sand.
Okay.
Sandbar sharks are a popular shark species among fishing anglers due to their size and catchability. They grow over
7 feet long.
Over 2 feet.
8 feet long.
Technically, we're both correct.
both correct.
Because that is over.
And weigh over 200 pounds. Sandbar sharks are very opportunistic hunters, feeding on a varied array of species such as squids, eels, bony fishes, crabs, and even other sharks. Sandbar sharks are part of a group known as ridgeback sharks. This is due to the fact that they have what's known as interdorsal ridge along their back. The bony structure gives them an extra layer of protection as well as more fluid swimming ability.
Okay. Sandbar sharks.
Ridgeback dorsal fins.
Isn't Sandy Bottoms the SpongeBob squirrel?
No, I think her last name is Cheeks.
Oh, Cheeks. That's what it is. Sandy Cheeks. Same thing.
She's a squirrel. What were you thinking, Jamie?
Sandy Bottoms sounds like some sort of performer.
I believe Bikini Bottom was the town they lived in.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What kind of performer? Like Little Cassie? Let's see. On the text line.
The
Like the
Texas
one with the
coach's
monkey.
girlfriend that got bit in the face
Yeah.
by Gia the Capuchin. I
That was
can't remember her
Halloween.
name, but I can remember the monkey's name.
Not me, dude.
Sorry, I'm trying to read these texts. If you go to literally any high school stadium in Texas on Friday nights this fall around 6:30 pregame warm-ups, you'll hear that song.
The Imagine Dragons one?
Yep.
AWOL Nation will never die, and you will give them the respect they deserve.
Probably also some Imagine Dragons songs. A surprise stinger is what I... Okay, all right. That almost got me. I almost read that one. Almost Ron Burgundy, that one right there. Let's see. Kamo says they just got Gray back. Not taking a pitcher as a singular move before the deadline has to be an offensive player. I don't know that it does. I think I agree that a shutdown closer is more important for this team because this is not the offense you had in May. It's not the offense you were working with in April. They've actually been above average since the start of June.
Yeah.
And
It's
if you're
definitely
only
gotten better.
making one move, I think the additions of the bullpen in Gray and Spores plus a shutdown closer really changes your team for the better. And I think the offense has been good enough since the beginning of July, certainly, to really make some kind of moves. Now, are you a World Series contender with this offense? Probably not. But I don't know that there's an offensive player out there that makes you a World Series contender with one bat.
Probably easier, have to give up less to get a bat than you would to get a shutdown closer because there are not that many great closers in the game and teams are not willing to give up on them or give them up, period, as much. So probably would end up having to give up a little bit more.
The Rangers farm system isn't one of those farm systems where it's like, hey, there's 15 guys 4 years away.
Can I get a 30-second timeout?
Uh-huh.
I mean, on your Tuesday night pickleball show here, I mean, we have got a guy in an orange jumpsuit who is talking on the mic, and he is not like your normal hold the mic to your mouth. I mean, he's got it tipped up, right?
I believe that's called an MC.
Yeah,
Jamie.
he's certainly emceeing.
That's like the street ball way that you used to
He's-
do things.
I'm shocked he doesn't have like skiing goggles.
There
on,
goes the
too.
professor.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like, oh, Escalade on the pickleball court.
I'll never forgive you for making me watch Tuesday night pickleball, Rob.
TNPB. Bum, 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 bum.
I couldn't pass it up. There was also a commercial for ESPN The Ocho. That looked electric. Did you see some of those? Of course, it was. They were playing bags, as they call it in the Midwest.
Yeah, I've seen those commercials before. That
You
looks
get
like a lot
the
of fun.
Dodgeball and have you seen the electrician competitions that they do?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
They like build out
Electrical
framed out.
electricians.
Yeah. Well, I said it wrong first.
Yeah, there's also
Thanks for bringing that up.
acoustic
Here it is
electrician
again.
competitions.
They plugged in.
They've got like yes, it's robots. They've got framed
It's,
out
it's
houses.
all AI. None of it's real, Jamie.
And they're racing to I guess wire up a framed out wall.
Okay.
We grabbed 100 electricians for a plumbing competition.
They also have plumbing competitions. So the Rangers farm system
they
isn't one of those
plumbers?
farm systems I think that can really sell out to win this year. It's not that they have a bad farm system, but they don't have a loaded farm system.
Not as much as they've had in the past.
Yeah, because they have made some moves in the last couple of years, and they've also brought up Wyatt Langford and Evan Carter and Leiter and Rocker, and Sebastian Walcott might be the only off-limits guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that they have the firepower to make a bunch of moves, but I think they certainly have the firepower to make a couple moves. Mm-hmm. And it could be that Adolis and a couple of these guys already up and kind of major league stars, you're going to be flipping some guys to see, hey, if we give you Adolis and a prospect, can we get a dominant closer? And then with that move, you're doing another move that's somebody else.
Yeah. And you're hoping that Josh Young's name is not mentioned in any of that.
Yes. Agreed.
Unless it's to the Royals.
No. 100.7 The Score. The Bottom Line. Chois Woodman up next.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. It is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you by our friends at Happy State Bank. We're watchable on TV, Fox 34 News Now, YouTube.
It's either us or
Fire Stick,
some pickleball.
Some pickleball. That's on TV in here. However you're taking us in, we're glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Thursday. I'm Chois Woodman. If you're viewing on TV, you see Taylor Beatles right there. You cannot see Clint Scott. Who is
Lucky you.
Whoa.
Hey.
Wow, all right.
I actually like that shirt you got on today. It's camera worthy.
Well, it'll be on camera 3 to 6.
It sure will.
Until we get the producer cam. Then
I'm
it could
still
be on 12
I'm
to
still
3.
in for this producer cam.
Producer game's going to be like, I think it was Ken Dorsey when he was the OC for the Bills.
Okay.
And like Josh Allen threw a pick or something.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He lost it. Like,
Threw down
not
the
only chunking
iPad.
his stuff, he was
The
chunking
iPad,
assistant stuff. Just walked out.
He was
the
exploded.
embodiment of every Bills fan for their entire life.
That's going to be you in there.
Y'all can join us if you got thoughts, comments, questions. Pour them in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app and at 107thescore.com. You can carry the app anywhere with you, even listening if you're out in Oregon, New Mexico. Don't know which Oregon, though. We will...
Probably a kidney.
A kid's knee?
The one that was sold out there.
In Oregon?
No, Oregon. O-R-G-A-N.
Oh.
Oregon, New Mexico.
Okay.
What's...
That I thought you said Oregon, New Mexico.
Yeah, I was trying to enunciate, but not very well.
And then when you said
Oregon.
a kidney, I was like, what is happening?
What kidney
in
was
there?
sold out there? Oh, okay.
Whichever one the person
Well, I was
with
trying
the
to think,
trouble.
was there something in Breaking Bad that I'm not
That's what I was
remembering?
trying to.
Or,
That's
like,
exactly
what's
where I
going
was
on
trying
here?
to.
I mean, it's along the same joke.
I'm
It just
sure,
wasn't
yeah,
specifically
something.
going to the show. You know, the joke works really well if you have to explain it. That's what
Yeah,
counts.
that's a key characteristic of a good joke.
I have not seen...
You see, it's funny because
I have not thought of Breaking Bad in a while. Did you watch it all?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My take on that is Better Call Saul is better.
I've heard multiple people say that. I've only
Better
seen
Call
like the
Saul.
first episode of Better Call Saul.
It was weird. It was one of those where like I watched the first season as it was happening, and I didn't start the second season, and then it finished.
Okay.
And then I went back and binged it, and I like couldn't get enough.
Wow.
you get T.J. Miller a lot.
Yeah.
I bet you could do a mean Bob Odenkirk if you leaned into it.
I'm horrible at impressions, but if somebody, my voice could get there probably.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Some sad news coming out of the world of professional entertainment. Hulk Hogan passes. Are you a
I had
WWE guy?
I had one stint when I was a kid, and it was basically NWO, WCW era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like my favorite wrestler was Sting. So he was with the black and white face paint. And then he went to the Wolfpack with the red and black. And so Hulk Hogan played a big part in that. So
my entire
wrestling brother.
The wrestling for me was based off of action figures because I wasn't allowed to watch.
Okay.
You know, it was a little. There was some. I mean, our childhood. It was very PG-13 when I think Steve Austin's peeing on people and doing some stuff like that. So it was.
I remember like when the girls would wrestle, I would just be like, "What is happening here?
What is going on?" Yeah. So
like, I don't feel like I should be watching this.
yeah.
That really wasn't wrestling either. That was just Vince McMahon being like, "How what can I get away with on national?
What can we do here?" Yeah, no doubt. So we'll talk a few different things today. I want to get into some Texas Tech thoughts. We got a lot of Taylors yesterday. We'll talk a little, smidge of MLB. The Rangers keep winning right now.
They're making Chris Young. I don't know. You know this. I don't know a ton about baseball. I follow it like basically through my friends in a group text.
Sure.
But it seems like they are making Chris Young's job challenging. Maybe not challenging, but confusing. Because like, what do you do now?
See, I don't think they were ever going to be sellers, true sellers.
Because there were some rumors about DeGrom. Like,
and
maybe that was his contract.
And, maybe you're just floating that out there too to just see what he would catch,
right.
what the market would bring. Because I don't think the Rangers ever were true sellers, being around a 500 team. Mm-hmm. That's one thing we've talked about. You don't have to. It's not an exclusive buy or sell conversation.
Yeah.
Especially if you get guys under contract for a handful of years. Mm-hmm. You can hold. It's allowed to just say, hey, this may not be our season right now, but we're a couple of pieces away next year, and maybe our guys will perform better. So, but they're starting to perform well now. They're right now only a game and a half out of a playoff spot.
Because there's 3 wild cards.
There's 3 wild cards. That's changed everything.
Yeah,
that has. So I think the Rangers are definitely. I don't know that you're buyers necessarily. Yeah. If there's a good closer that you can go get.
Well, that's what's weird to me is because, like, obviously the offense has been bad, which is really weird as a Rangers fan.
Yep.
But it's like the guy, like, who would you go trade for who would be an upgrade? Like, because the guys you have theoretically
offensively,
should be good, but they're just not.
No, I think you're starting to see some of those guys come on a little bit. Seager's being more consistent. Josh Young hopefully is finding a stride once again. So if you just get the guys to live up to their career averages,
you'll be good.
Then you're going to be fine offensively. But it's all about, to me, you've probably lost, without having it in front of me, somewhere between 8 and 12 games by the bullpen this year, where you've had leads or ties late and they blow it. So, I mean, several in extra innings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
wasn't there a streak of like 4 straight
that extra innings games, and you lost 3 out of 4?
That's ridiculous on a number of levels.
Yeah. So I think if you could go get a closer, bolster the bullpen a little bit, that's the one thing I'd go after at the deadline. But I'm not selling the farm out to get it either. So, because baseball, starting pitching, that's king. And if you can, and the Rangers have great starting pitching right now. You're wasting some great starting pitching.
I didn't realize, like, someone had mentioned DeGrom is like in the Cy Young conversation.
Yeah,
like,
I
had no idea about
Nathan
that.
Eovaldi would be as well if he didn't miss so much time in the first half of the season. So you've got some legit pieces in the rotation. It's just going to come down to, can you close out games? Can you play your complimentary baseball?
Clint's t-shirt stand.
Clint's t-shirt
Selling
stand.
like wildfire.
Complimentary baseball. Sneed would be mad right now. So we'll talk a little Rangers. We'll talk some Cowboys. We'll get into. We'll definitely talk some football.
There you go.
Hold on.
See, I was disappointed yesterday we didn't play any Ozzy, but this'll do for.
Speaking of Ozzy,
our show did.
Yeah, I did hear that. You're right.
We had
Not yesterday.
No,
Probably
no,
maybe the day
no.
before.
No, it was McGuire played it on the morning show.
Yeah, okay.
That's what it was. So
I mean, I played it for you guys 2 days ago.
right.
But I wasn't here, so how?
Yeah, show doesn't count if Taylor's not here. We're speaking of Ozzy, already some breaking news for his funeral.
Really? Is this? I feel like this is like your dad joke set.
No.
The worst dad joke ever.
It's like, what is? I don't know if this is.
No,
legit.
I don't think I can joke about it yet. I gotta let it cook a little bit longer, or cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is the bottom line on 100.7 Score.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
What is your favorite Justin Bieber song? No. I was thinking about this the other day because I was looking at some of the like returning starter numbers across the Big 12 and returning production, and also was mixed in. The Athletic 2 weeks ago, roughly around there, put out a top 40 quarterbacks in college football, and the Big 12 had 10 of them. And so I started thinking about that from other positions, because I think with the Big 12, obviously there's a stigma around it and a lack of respect. And I think that goes to other positions as well. So my question to you, gentlemen, and our fine listening audience, Foyne, F-Y-N-E, if you were to take one Big 12 player off of another roster and add it to yours, who would that be?
There would have been a cavalcade of players in the past that I would probably pick from. But as we've talked about, this is the best you felt about a roster heading into a season. So I think you got to be a lot more picky and choosy with this one. I'm not replacing what you got at tight end. I'm not replacing quarterback. I think you're going to have the best season out of Aaron Morton this year.
I think you could go about this two ways. You could either pick something that would, you could pick another D lineman, like the best D lineman, and just make a strength stronger.
You absolutely could.
Or you could try to find a weakness and try to address it there. I'd be tempted. What is the Utah tackle that's like a top pick, supposedly a top pick next year?
That would be Spencer Fano.
Yeah, that would probably be my answer.
He came to mind, and
the
Jordan,
Lomu guy for him, for Utah too. I'd take either one of those guys.
I thought of is it Jordan? It's Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson, yeah, Jalen's brother.
Yeah.
Does previous brother relationship make you pause on that one at all?
No.
Okay.
No. This is a perfect world here. So.
Okay. I mean, this is hypothetical, so might as well make it perfect.
No bad things have happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Dante Corleone could be the guy that you bring in to just bolster your defensive line even more. It should be nuts. I think I'm going the route of offensive line. Offensive line is like starting pitching. You can never have enough. You can pad that depth. And if you have to work on, like you talked about yesterday, just finding the right mix of guys, finding that chemistry on the offensive line, I think I'm going there. So probably Fano is who I would go with from Utah if I was narrowing it down to one guy. But, I mean, I could be convinced on a handful of other players. I could also be convinced on Bryson Washington, the running back out of Baylor.
Yeah.
Because that's the one position. I'm not saying Quentin Joyner's not going to be good, but it's the one that you don't necessarily know as much about. I think your running back position is going to be good. I feel good about it.
I do too.
But adding a guy like that who's proven in this league would make your offense even better. So
isn't it weird that, like you mentioned, 10 of the Big 12 quarterbacks are in the top 40 or whatever that the Athletic did? there's not a wide range. Like, there's not someone so much better than Morton that you want to.
No.
Like, that's kind of, because like you mentioned in years past, this might be like I would have taken Shadur last year. Or there, it just seems like usually there's like a standout quarterback. Like, we're watching the Big 12 title game from 2 years ago. Like, he annoyed me, but Max Duggan would have been pretty nice to have.
He was the best quarterback that year, and goodness gracious. We talk about guys' missteps and coaches.
Yeah, they benched
Sonny
him.
Dykes picked the wrong quarterback and lucked into a Big 12 championship by the other one getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
You picked the wrong guy,
Yeah.
and this one led you to a title.
Yeah.
That and everybody else's quarterback getting hurt that year. But, yeah. Yeah, it is kind of strange that you're there. You don't have anybody that's far and away better. I think you can argue for 3 to 4 guys being the top quarterback in this league, and there is not a ton of separation between like 1 through 7.
No. Or even like just preference-wise, I would love Jalen Daniels. But we haven't
Which
seen
version?
Exactly. Like, we haven't seen good Jalen Daniels in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Kansas guy.
Well, good Jalen Daniels was there last year.
Sure,
It was in a 4-game stretch.
Right.
Yeah, he was
True.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely detrimental to his team in the first 6 or 7 games. Like, he lost Kansas football games.
Like, I would love to see him.
I
Like,
blame Jeff Grimes.
I would love to see prime Jalen Daniels in a Mac Leftwich offense. Like, that would be just cool for a football nerd to see.
Sure.
But I wouldn't, based
you're
off
not
what we
trading
know
off.
now, I'm not trading Morton for him, because I don't know who you're going to get exactly. I think it's also weird because I think we would also go to like the best pass rusher would be like another one that would be an automatic choice. And one, I don't know if the Big 12 is necessarily stacked with those. And if they are,
if you
you
had
might have
one-
the top 2.
Very
That's
the
I
orange kid from
Well, I was gonna say I like the
State.
thought of, because I was thinking about it in a slightly different way. But if you add like Dominic Orange or Dante Corleone on top of the defensive line,
Right.
just like
I
all
do
right,
like
you
that.
literally have the preseason first team all right there.
Yeah.
I also like. I don't think my top 3 is a mixture somewhere between like BYU's Farron, their place kicker.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Just to knock knock that down. I think Fano's in that conversation. And then I was going back and forth on the third, and I'm leaning safety here only because you're starting out with an injury there.
Yeah.
And you were having to do a little bit of a move with Brennan Jordan with Chapman Lewis out. And so if you bring in like a Xavier Alford from Arizona State,
Okay.
I would feel really good about that. But the other one, it's kind of the same thought of what Taylor was saying. As far as bolstering, maybe not to the same extent, but bolstering a group I feel pretty good about. If you added like an Austin Romaine at linebacker, I think Ben Roberts is going to be helped out a lot from a better defensive line, and you'll see a closer return.
I do too.
But what if you don't?
But I think
And
John
I like
Curry
John
is
Curry
right
too.
there. I think
But
John
if you
Curry
add a
is gonna be-
super senior who's an all Big 12 guy,
Romaine's excellent. You can't go wrong by adding. There's 7 or 8 guys in the Big 12 that would only make teams better.
Yeah.
Like there's those kind of guys. Just like if you added Jacob Rodriguez to any roster, doesn't matter what you've got there, you would take it and you would be happy with it.
I think
But-
at the end of the day, I'm going offensive line.
Yeah, I think I'm
gonna
going
take
offensive
Fano.
line. That's the one. I asked a question this morning on the morning drive of. I do this pretty well every year. Position group by position group. Do you feel better, worse, or the same about said position than you did exiting last season? So exiting last season and coming into this season. And I think almost every one of these positions you feel better about. Maybe sans kicker. That might be the one where it's like
I'm not actually worried about Upton Bellenfant.
Yeah, it's kind of like in the same.
But
It's
if you
kinda
bring
where
in a guy from one has been in that environment, he kicked in the Big 12 for 2 years now, and I guess mostly last year, but still a guy who's consistently done it and has been really good percentage from 50 plus in big moments. I wouldn't exactly turn that down.
And what's tough about kicker too is like consistency is tough. Like, obviously he's shown to be consistent, but it's just, who knows?
I think Tech missed, 3 kicks the whole year last year?
Something like that.
Garcia missed 1. It just, I think
it was just 2 because I think he and Burkhart both missed 1.
Was it just the 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. But,
unless Harrington got an attempt mixed in too at some point.
There's been years with that question, Clint, where you can just name a ton of guys, and this year it's like, I like what you got here. I like what you got here. It's a different feeling.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.